जहां दूर नजर दौड़ाए, आजाद गगन लहराए, जहां दूर नजर दौड़ाए, आजाद गगन लहराए, जहां रंग बिरंगे पंछी आशा का संदेशा लाए, जहां रंग बिरंगे पंछी आशा का संदेशा लाए, सपनों में पली हंसती हो कली, जहां शाम सुहानी ढले, जहां गम भी न हो आंसू भी न हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले, एक ऐसे गगन के तले। सपनों के ऐसे जहां में, जहां प्यार ही प्यार खिला हो, हम जाके वहां खो जाएं, शिकवा न कोई गिला हो, कहीं बैर न हो कोई गैर न हो, सब मिल के यूं चलते चले, जहां गम भी न हो आंसू भी न हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले, आ चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं, एक ऐसे गगन के तले, जहां गम भी न हो आंसू भी न हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले, एक ऐसे गगन के तले, एक ऐसे गगन के तले।
Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So the date of today's Murli is 30th of November 2003, and the title is Become an Authority of Experience in All Four Subjects and Transform Problems in the Form of Solutions. Today, the creator of the Brahmin world is seeing all his Brahmin children from everywhere. This Brahmin world is a small world, but it is an extremely elevated and lovely world. This Brahmin world is of the special souls of the world. Each and every Brahmin soul is one out of multi-millions, one of a handful of souls, because you have recognized your father and claimed a right to the inheritance. Just as the Father is the highest on high, so those souls who recognize the Father and belong to Him are also special souls. The Father, the bestower of fortune, drew the line of elevated fortune on the forehead of every Brahmin soul as soon as he took birth. You are souls with such an elevated fortune. Do you consider yourselves to be so fortunate? Do you experience such great spiritual intoxication? So the Father is asking us that do we experience that how fortunate we are, and Baba has chosen us out of multi-million souls, koto mein koi, and this Brahmin world and this divine family, the love, the affection, cooperation, Do we have that intoxication every single moment? The Father, the comforter of hearts, is giving every Brahmin soul love from the heart, affection from his heart. This godly love is received from only the one and only at one time throughout the whole cycle. Do you always have the spiritual intoxication in your every action? You challenge the world that you are the special souls who lead a karma yogi life. You are not those who simply have yoga. You are those who have a yogi life. Life is for all time. It is natural and constant. You are not those who have a yogi life for 6 hours or 8 hours. Yoga, that is remembrance, is the aim of Brahmin life. The aim of life is automatically remembered, and as is your aim, so you automatically develop these qualifications. So unlike the other practices followed by other organizations, Baba doesn't tell us to leave everything and just go somewhere. We are natural yogis, and for us, the entire day is just being in the remembrance of Baba and doing every action as per Srimad. And because that's what a Karma Yogi is. And when we perform the action in remembrance of Baba, that's when we do service and perform an elevated action. Bapdada is seeing the sparkling star of fortune and on the forehead of every Brahmin soul. Bapdada always sees each child as one with elevated self-respect and self-sovereignty. So do all of you experience yourselves to be souls who have self-respect and self-sovereignty? If you bring it into your awareness for just a second that you are a soul with self-respect, then how long is the list that emerges in just 1 second? Did the list of self-respect come into your awareness just now? It is a long list, is it not? So Baba has given us a long list of the Swamans, whether it is being Master Sarva Shaktivan, or I'm a peaceful soul, I'm a loveful soul, or I'm Master Gyan Surya. Self-respect finishes arrogance because self-respect is elevated pride. So the elevated pride finishes the different types of impure body consciousness. When you switch on the light, darkness goes away in a second. Darkness is not made to go away. You don't need to make effort to remove the darkness, but you just switch on the light and darkness automatically ends. In the same way, switch on your switch of the awareness of self-respect, and you won't have to make effort to end the different types of body consciousness. You do have to make effort while you don't have the awareness of being an embodiment of self-respect. Bap Dada sees the games of the children. You speak about self-respect in your heart. I am seated on Bap Dada's heart throne. You say this, you think this, but then you don't remain set, that is seated on the seat of experience. So here Baba is reminding us the importance of Swaman, that is self-respect. And it is also a very practical tool in our day-to-day life to help us become a karma yogi. For example, if I decide that I will not get angry at anyone or snap at anyone, that kind of can become difficult. But if I'm just in the awareness that no matter what people's opinions are, I'll remain peaceful and accept them unconditionally. So that is a positive affirmation, which is also scientifically proven to be helpful. And that's an elevated pride, as Baba says. It is essential to experience whatever you think, because the most elevated authority is the authority of experience, Anubhav ki authority. So Bap Dada sees that you listen to everything very well. You think very well too, but hearing and thinking about it is something different. To become an embodiment of experience is the elevated authority of Brahmin life. This is the difference between devotion and knowledge. In devotion too, they become very intoxicated listening. They even think, but they are unable to have an experience. Gyan means being a jnani soul, that is, being experienced in every type of self-respect. The experienced form gives you spiritual intoxication. Experience in life can never be forgotten. Whatever you have heard or thought about can be forgotten. However, the authority of experience never decreases. So Bap Dada is reminding you children, whatever you have heard from God, the Father, become an embodiment of the experience of that. Even if 1,000 people try to erase something that you have experienced, it cannot be erased. Even Maya cannot erase your experience. So here Baba is explaining the importance of implementing Gyan in a life, that is the extent to which we have become an embodiment of that knowledge. And that is something which actually cannot be erased, no matter how Maya tries to attack us. And take even one line from the Murli. For example, Baba says that Maya has this form of entering via a golden gate. And when we just read and don't experience or implement it, it'll be difficult for us to understand what Baba is trying to say, or how is it practically applicable. But then something happens in your life, and at that moment you were going to get swayed, and just at that time you remember, oh, Baba says that Maya has this way of entering via golden gate, and then you use your swaman and get seated. So like this, each and every point, whether Baba says, at every scene, just say va drama va, or even va baba va. It has, or you can implement it in small little actions. Maybe you get disturbed at certain types of food, so you just say that va baba va. So when you look at the plate, no matter what is served, just remember the Father and experience prasannata, as Baba said in Sunday's Murli, at every moment. As soon as you adopt a body, you experience that you're so and so, and that remains very firm. Do you ever forget the name of your body? If someone says to you, "No, you are not so and so," would you believe that person? In the same way, by experiencing the list of every type of self respect, you can never forget your self respect. However, Bapdada has seen that in your becoming experienced in every type of self respect and every point, you are number wise. Since you have experienced that you are a soul, what else are you apart from the soul? You say, "The body is mine, but I am a soul." Since you are a soul, where did body consciousness come from? Why did it come? What is the reason for it? The practice of 63 births, the wrong practice, that I am a body, is very firm. You forget the experience of the right practice. When Bap Dada sees you children laboring, he feels love for you, God's children, and labor. What is the reason for this? The lack of being an embodiment of experience. When you are experiencing body consciousness, no matter what happens, whatever you're performing, actions, do you forget body consciousness? So, Brahmin life means a Karma Yogi life. It means the experience of a yogi life. So, Baba again is giving us a checking point that throughout the day, how much are we performing our actions with this consciousness that I'm a soul, and that is what, after all, Brahmin life is, to lead a Karma Yogi life. So check, have I experienced every subject? To listen to knowledge and to relate it is easy. However, to become an embodiment of knowledge, when you put knowledge into practice, your every action will automatically be knowledgeful. That is, every action will be filled with the light and might of knowledge. Knowledge is said to be light and might. In the same way, the yogi form is yogyukt and yukti yukt form. An embodiment of dharana means that your every action, every physical organ, and every virtue will be an embodiment of dharana. An experienced image of service means a constant and natural server. Whatever it is, through your thoughts, words, deeds, connections, or relations, service should continue to happen naturally through your every action. This is called being an embodiment of experience in all four subjects. So we have the four subjects of Gyan, that is knowledge, Yog, Dharana, and Seva. So Baba is asking that, have we become or experienced each and every subject, and That is, have you become an embodiment of experience in all four subjects? And only then will we be able to do service, whether it's through mind, thoughts, actions, and then, of course, our relations. So the more the dharana, that is Gyan, Yoga, and of course dharana, the more we can do service to all the souls. So all of you should check to what extent you have become experienced in every virtue and experienced in every power. In any case, there is the saying, experience is very useful at the right time. So experience being an embodiment of experience, no matter what type of problem there is. One who is an image of experience with his authority of experience will transform the problem in form of the solution in a second. The problem will not remain a problem. It will become the form of a solution. Do you understand? So experiences are something which become etched in our subconscious. So maybe at that moment, the pointer, you can forget that point of Gyan or the knowledge, maybe for 1 second, but you can never forget the experience. And when at that second you apply it, you pass the scene with honors. So have we become such souls? Now, the closeness of time and the closeness of becoming equal to the Father should give the experience of being an embodiment of solutions. For a long time, you labored with problems coming and then finding their solutions. Now, Bap Dada wants to see every child as one with self-respect, self-sovereignty, and an embodiment of solutions. An image of experience is able to transform something in a second. Acha. Souls from everywhere have reached here. Even the double foreigners claim a good chance in every turn. Acha. The Pandavas are no less in this group too. All the Pandavas, raise your hand. Mothers, Kumaris, teachers, raise your hands. So in this first group, Baba is meeting the double foreigners, the Pandavas, mothers, Kumaris, and teachers. In the first group, there were a lot more mothers, but in this group, the Pandavas have also raised very well. The intoxication and faith of the Pandavas are remembered even today. What has been remembered? Do you know? There were just 5 Pandavas, but on the basis of their intoxication and faith, they became victorious. There is this praise until today. So are you such Pandavas? Acha, do you have the intoxication? So when you Pandavas hear that you are Pandavas, you don't forget the father of the Pandavas, Pandavpati. Do you? Do you sometimes forget him? Pandavas and Pandavpati. Pandavas can never forget Pandavpati. Pandavas should have the intoxication. We are the Pandavas of every cycle, the ones who are loved by Pandavpati. In the memorials too, the name of the Pandavas is no less. The title of the Pandavas is victorious Pandavas. So as we know, the Pandavas, there were just 5 of them, but yet they were victorious. And so Baba is asking, or rather giving the title of victorious Pandavas. So are you such Pandavas? That's all. We are victorious Pandavas, and not just Pandavas, but victorious Pandavas. The imperishable tilak of victory is already applied on your forehead. What intoxication do you mothers have? You have a lot of intoxication. Mothers say with intoxication, Baba has come for us. It is like this, is it not? This is because for half the cycle, the mothers haven't been given any status. And now, at the confluence age, even in politics, mothers have been given rights. In every department, the Father has placed you Shaktis in the front. And so, in the world too, in every profession, mothers now have rights. There isn't a profession in which there aren't any women. And this is the status of the confluence age. Such an important point Baba has given, that earlier mothers or women in general, they did not have any status and they were all bound by the restrictions because of patriarchy. But Baba has placed the Shaktis in the front and given them such an elevated position. So today when we look, we see women in every field, in every profession. And that's what the status is in this confluence age. So you mothers feel, our Baba, you feel, do you not? That is my Baba. Do you have this intoxication? Mothers are waving their hands. It is good. You have made God belong to you. And so, it is the mothers who are the magicians. Bap Dada sees that mothers and Pandavas love Bap Dada in all relationships. But he also sees which ones especially love which relationship. Some children very much like making God as their friend. This is why there is a story of Khuda Dost, God the friend. Baba says, at any time, whichever relationship you need, you can make God belong to you in that relationship. You can fulfill all relationships with Him. Children said, Baba is mine. And what did the father say? I'm yours. So there's this wonderful story of Khuda Dost, as many of you must be knowing. And the spiritual significance actually of that story, just as Baba said in this Murli, that at whichever point of time you need any relation, say suppose of a friend or maybe your mother, so you just have to remember him in that relation, and Baba will make you perform that elevated action, that is do service. And isse sangam yug ki bhi badshahi, that is in the confluence age also, and in the future also you receive the badshahi. And the souls whom we benefit, they come in the form of praja. So that is the spiritual significance of the story of Khuda Dost. You like the splendor of Madhuban, do you not? No matter how far away you may be sitting, and listening and seeing the splendor of Madhuban is its own. You meet Bap Dada in Madhuban anyway, but how many other types of attainment do you also have? If you were to make a list of those, how many types of attainment are there? The greatest attainment of all is that you have easy yoga and natural yoga. You don't have to labor. When someone gives that importance to the atmosphere of Madhuban, then the atmosphere of Madhuban and the timetable of Madhuban will make that one into an easy yogi and a natural yogi. Why? In Madhuban, you have just one task in your intellect. When a server group comes, that's a different matter. But those who come here for refreshment, what work do they have to do in Madhuban? Do they have any responsibilities? Eat, drink, enjoy yourself, and study. So Madhuban is Madhuban. People are listening to Baba abroad too. However, there is the difference of day and night in listening to the Murli there and coming to Madhuban. Bap Dada gives love and remembrance to those who are listening and watching through the facilities anyway. Some children even listen to the Murli staying awake at night. It is definitely better than not listening to it at all. But the best of all is lovely Madhuban. So I'm sure all of you must have experienced the intoxication and the yoga, which, we are able to do in such a natural way because of those powerful vibrations at Madhuban. And yes, the best is, of course, listening to the Murli at Madhuban. Do you enjoy coming to Madhuban, or do you feel that you can hear the Murli sitting there? What do you like? You will hear the Murli there too, will you not? Here too, sitting at the back, you see everything on the TV anyway. So those who feel that it is good to come to Madhuban, raise your hands. Everyone raise their hands. Acha. Nevertheless, what is the praise in bhakti? The Murli is played in Madhuban. It isn't the Murli that is played in London. No matter where you are, to know the importance of the praise of Madhuban means to make yourself great. Acha, all of you who have come, you're experiencing the yogi life, the life of being a jnani soul and an embodiment of dharana. In the first meeting this season, Baba especially drew your attention to the fact that for the full season, you have to become a jewel of contentment and make others content. You mustn't just become that, but you also have to make others content. Together with that, according to the time now, anything can happen at any time. Don't ask such questions. When will it happen? Will it happen in 1 year or in 6 months? Suddenly, anything can happen at any time. Therefore, make the switch of your awareness very powerful. Put on the switch in a second and become an embodiment of experience. When the switch is loose, you repeatedly have to put it on and off, and it takes time for it to be put right. However, in a second, put on the switch of self respect and the switch of self sovereignty. Become introverted and continue to have experiences. Become merged in the ocean of experiences. No authority can win against the authority of experience. Do you understand what you have to do? Bab Dada gives you a signal, but don't wait in anticipation. Don't say when, when. Now, ever ready. Are you able to put on your switch of awareness in a second? Are you able to do this? No matter what the circumstances are, what the problems are, put on the switch of awareness. Practice this because the final paper will be of only a second and not even a minute. Those who keep on thinking will not be able to pass. Those who have experience will pass. So the last paper, as we know, it's of Nashta Moha. And if we don't start experiencing from now on, there are chances that in the final paper, instead of remembering Baba, we might just remember maybe a lab or a house or something like that. So it's time for, or maybe there's a practice we can take from today's Murli is taking maybe one power or virtue and experiencing it throughout the day. So now all of you in a second put on the switch of the awareness. I am an elevated soul who is a resident of the supreme abode. Put on the switch of this awareness. Let there be the awareness of nothing else. Let there not be any upheaval in your intellect, unshakable. So Bap Dada conducted a drill. Acha. To the experienced souls from everywhere who have elevated self-respect, to those who constantly experience every subject, to the constantly yogi souls who move along with a yogi life, to the special souls who are a handful out of multi-millions, and the few out of that handful who constantly keep their special fortune immersed in every action, love, remembrance, and namaste from Bap Dada. Okay, considering the time constraint, we'll stop here. And the remaining part of the Murli where Baba is talking to the service from Punjab and how far has the service taken or gone ahead in Punjab, and are there mics being prepared to spread the knowledge. And then Baba is talking to the dadis and how they're receiving cooperation to further service. He's talking to Mohini Ben. And then, of course, Baba is talking to Santosh Behan, Nalini Behan, that Baba is there to take care of their health, and they just have to perform Baba's task. And then in the end, he talks to the big programs which are taking place in Calcutta, and also about Dati Janki, who was in Australia at that time. So This is what about today's Murli. Acha, Om Shanti. So we'll take a minute of silence and then we can start sharing the points of the Murli. Yes, you can unmute yourself and share points of today's Murli. Any takeaway point or anything which you felt that that's something, that's a practice you can take.
Om Shanti, sister. Thank you, Baba. The biggest takeaway for me is the last part, that I am a Pandava. I'm a victorious soul. And I have to practice this, make sure that I never become weak. And my soul and spirit are always above body consciousness. So this is my lakshya, if you may call it that way, to remain engrossed with faith and make sure that I'm victorious. I am victorious, like the Pandava. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti in its addition. Very nice intoxication, sister. Experience of it. Experience of becoming that with that unflinching support of myself. And I have faith in the self and Almighty's connection throughout the time. And as Baba said today, take one quality and experience throughout the day, that homework. So I feel Satguru Vars Day, the virtue Baba says is purity. So whole day. And as Baba also brought us to the attention of Madhuban, the ultimate Madhuban home and the experience of Madhuban. And while living in our own homes here, we can still experience that wonderful vibrations of Madhuban. So experience, experience, experience. That's my takeaway. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ansaben, you had unmuted yourself.
Good morning. Om Shanti. I hope I'm audible, Bhugovan.
Yes, sister, you are.
Okay, yeah. From today's Murli, when Baba is saying, when there is darkness in the room, we just do one small thing that is just for a second. We just switch on the light. Similarly, what I have taken from this Murli is to always remain in my true consciousness. That is, I am a soul. That is, I am a Paramdham Nivasi. First thing. And second thing, which I'm practicing from last week, Murli, where Baba said just the first vikar, that is calm vikar, that only is not enough. Krodh, that is again a very big vikar, I would say. So instead of thinking about krodh or anger, I'm thinking more about to be more loveful, to be more meethe bache. And the third thing which I'm practicing now, my presence, how much it is filled with Ruhaniyat, how much it is filled with peace wherever I am, or with wherever I am, with my family, at whatever place I am. It should be filled with peace, love, and purity. I I just keep on checking how much I'm with. I'm like, there should be like fragrance, like a flower has its own fragrance and it goes all around. Similarly, this is what I'm practicing nowadays. Thank you.
Thank you, Shanti. Yes, anyone else would like to share anything from today's Murli? Sandhya Ven, Sujata sister, Inder Bhai.
Om Shanti. Baba said to be seated on the heart throne of Baba. Always be aware of the self-respect and end the different type of body consciousness. So today my takeaway point will be, I will be in the spiritual intoxication throughout the day. My Baba, Mera Baba, Pyara Baba, at every moment. Om Shanti.
Shanti. So the takeaway point for me from today's Murli is again, how much am I able to experience the points of knowledge which Baba gives, and it is for me is how much am I doing performing task in soul consciousness, because often the role comes in between and that creates an hindrance. So throughout the day, and not just today, from today, it will be a checking point that how much am I becoming, performing the action in Baba's remembrance. Yes, anything else? Anyone? Ammi Ben, Rakhi Ben, Madhu sister.
Om Shanti. Beautifully started the whole concept of today's Murli Apurva Ben, where Baba is talking about be solution oriented, and the access to be solution oriented is standing in Swaman and practicing all the four subjects of Gyan. For me, the takeaway point for today is keep practicing, even if I may fall at times, but instead of getting into the guilt mode, I gracefully accept that this is what has happened and move forward. So keep continuously practicing dharana. And that's the only way my soul will be able to elevate, and Baba's presence would be felt by others around me. Om Shanti.
Shanti. Just to add to what you shared, not get into the guilt, because I mean, a lot of times where just get into guilt and then berate ourselves, how could I do this? And that's, I feel, is really a time wasting action. So instead, just keep getting better doing. Yes, Anshuman.
Yeah, very nice. Sister Rakhi started about guilt. Totally agree. We have to feel that drama is benevolent. And whatever has happened, it sounds very bad and it tries to get us in, mode of guilt. But we know that drama is ultimate beneficial, and Baba's ultimate support. He wants us to outshine in that situation also. So no way, to look down, but just keep up that spirits and feel that embrace of Almighty Shiv Ma, who is our support, and get going and getting higher and higher and becoming just Bap Saman. That's the ultimate takeaway. No guilt mode. Om
Yes,
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi.
Yes, Madhu sister.
Sorry. Didi, actually, like yesterday in Sakar, Murli Baba said that we have to become continue yogi, like constant yogi. You know? Today also, same Baba said we are not the yogi of 8 or 6 hours, you know, constant yogi. But when we come to karmas, like it becomes very difficult to remember Baba. We involve so much in works and we forget to what is the like how can it be possible to become constant yogi coming that I wanted to know.
So anyone would like to? Yes, Rakib.
Will attempt sharing what works for us, at least for me, how it works is um, so whatever work we're doing, it's a practice that I've taken up when I enter the office. As soon as I enter the office, there'll be 5 minutes of yoga that with which the day starts. And uh, would I fall during the day? Yes, I may fall because there's so much of work that takes us over. But only continuous practice the moment there is a mode of any kind of reaction or any kind of thing that is going to be disturbing me, take a pause for a few moments, come out of that situation, again get connected, and then start doing the work.
Ji,
Continuous practice is the only access which has worked for me.
ji, ji, Didi, ji, ji.
I would also like to add, sister, to what Rakhi said. When you work anywhere, what style I adopt as a practice is, I don't think I'm working for that organization.
Ji.
I just think I'm working for the Almighty.
Okay.
The moment you start giving every job function as a prayer to the Almighty, your
Ji,
every act, even at work,
ji,
is like a service.
ji,
And the other practice which I follow is that 24/7, whether it's at work or somewhere, there's a small recorder that I keep with me. And there's always constant, some or the other prayer and chant always going on in a very soft way, even at work. So what happens is that the vibrations of that prayer is always resonating. Even when the people walk into your office, they can feel the vibration.
ji,
And also keeping a picture on the side of the Supreme Soul. And especially when any disturbing meeting or anything, I mean, just connect. It happens. I mean, it can't be 24/7, but it is definitely a lot more. At least that's what I've, in my own experience, learned by adopting this method. And my job is not for Air India. My job is for the Almighty. I just think that way. Everything I do is for Him.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Om
Thank
Shanti.
you so much. Shanti.
Very nicely put it, Harpreet. Then it's like um, the Lockic responsibility and those morning studies that we do is not separate. It is very much a part of our life. And the best way to connect with it is being of service to the Almighty. And that consciousness, continuously being aware of this, that this is God's work. Whatever I'm doing is for the Almighty.
Ji,
Keeping that in awareness
ji,
is another way that works.
ji,
And would that not take us to what is happening around us? Had it been said, we may fall. That's okay.
ji, 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 Didi. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. So can we move towards the meditation?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Okay. Sit quietly with your back straight relaxed. Through your mind's eye, visualize yourself as a powerful, self-sovereign soul, child of God, who has embarked on this journey of service to the world. No matter what papers come in the way, no matter the obstacles, I'm in the remembrance. Baba, Mera Baba is with me all the time, every second. I have my full faith in Baba and the drama. I'm an embodiment of all the divine virtues, the powers which the Father has bestowed. After all, He has chosen me from the multi-millions and showers and continues to give love and affection at every step. All my relations and connections is with the One, the Father. And I experience this beautiful spiritual intoxication at every single moment, today, throughout the day, and always. I indeed feel blessed and fortunate. Thank you, Baba, for choosing me, for transforming my life and giving an opportunity to elevate myself and all the souls. Shukriya, Baba. Shukriya. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Apurva Ben. Everyone have a great day. And we all shall meet tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. See you all tomorrow.